Hey, if you're spraying a knockdown texture, you may wonder what is the best knife to use to knock it down. I know a lot of you out there have used a lot of different things. Well, today we're going to compare these three knives: a steel knife, a magic trowel, and a plastic Lexan knife. And I'm going to show you what the advantages are to each one and show you what I use right after this. Hey, thanks and welcome back to the Kilted Guy videos here on YouTube. And what we're going to do today is we're going to compare three different knives. We're going to compare a steel knife, magic trowel, and a Lexan knife used for knocking down texture. Now, if you don't know what a knockdown texture is, it looks like this example in this picture here. It's basically a texture you spray on, usually a little bit thicker mud and heavier drops and maybe more of it. And then you go back over it after a little bit and you knock it down. And there's big differences among these three knives right here, and I'm going to get into demonstrating that here in a minute. But first, before I go too much further, be sure and check out our description down below this video. If you click right to the right of the title, there's a little arrow. There's a lot of good information down there about free guides we give away, our website, and our Amazon store, where you can pick up all of these tools that I'm going to show you right here, as well as some other supplies. I give you a lot of pointers and tips and that in my store, so click on the comment next to a tool and you'll see my recommendation or thought on it on a lot of them. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, we hope you'll join us and become part of our Kilted Guy clan here. Because here at that Kilted Guy videos, it's my goal to teach you guys how to do this stuff right. That's my slogan, is do it right. I'm going to teach you how to save money to do this and take pride in workmanship, and to empower you to get this done yourself. And we welcome all your comments, whatever they are, and be sure and put the hashtag do it right or that Kilted Guy in your comment and let others know you're part of that Kilted Guy community here. All right, let's get into this video. First thing we got to do, obviously, is get some texture on here. Now, if you want to know how to spray knockdown texture, how to adjust all the variables, there's multiple variables of air pressure, airflow, trigger pull, tip size, mud thickness, and so on. I explained all that in my other video where I demonstrated how to spray a light, medium, and heavy knockdown, and I'll show you all about that. But here we're just going to spray a kind of a medium knockdown on here, and then we're going to demonstrate these three knives because that's the goal today. Okay, so let's spray some texture here so we have something to work with. Okay, I try and get it on there fairly even. We're not worried about getting it super even. This is a knockdown. Knockdown tends to have a little irregularity to it. Now you might be wondering, why do I have blue sheetrock? Well, my sheetrock, the other day, it lost one of its, the other half of the sheetrock, and it's just kind of sad. No, honestly, I'm a smart aleck sometimes. What it is, this is blue board. For those of you that don't know, this is basically a water resistant sheetrock. It's not waterproof. It's often used in areas where there's going to be a lot of moisture, like a bathroom, maybe a kitchen, but it's not waterproof. So those of you that think this is waterproof rock, it's not. But I use blue sheetrock, or I paint my own so that the texture shows up better. If I spray this over here, you're not going to see it very good. Now, I might be jabbering here, but it's partly because we have to let this set up. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera because it's got to set up roughly 4 or 5 minutes. It really varies. Okay, I decided to just let this set up for a minute or two because I want to demonstrate one of the differences between these knives, which is that a steel knife is a lot more aggressive. It will knock it down flatter. You have to wait longer and be more careful, which is why I recommend the Lexan knife for everybody that's just getting into this. But honestly, it's what I use. It tends to be more forgiving and it doesn't smear as easily. So let's just we're just going to do part of it right now with a steel knife first. So you can see pretty flat. Now I don't actually use this. I've tried it a few times and it's pretty decent, but I think what this is going to be the best for is skim coating, and I'll demonstrate that in another video. But let's go ahead. It does a pretty decent job of knockdown. But you can see it knocks it down fairly flat too. Now with the Lexan knife, we'll do the same thing, try and do about the same pressure. And you can see it just didn't knock it down quite as much as these two because they're more aggressive. The steel is the most aggressive, magic trowel is a little less so, and this, you can just knock it down sooner. So let's let that set up another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and hit those some more and see the difference when you give it the right amount of time for those tools. Oh, I hope you guys didn't see that. The camera was rolling the whole time. Oh crap. This is gonna get out on the internet. Oh well. It's been just a couple more minutes. I'd say if we wait much longer, this isn't gonna knock down much at all. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try and put a little extra light touch on it. And see, it's less than that, so it did get a little better. Now let's try the magic trowel. I wonder why they call it a magic trowel. Oh, where'd that thing go? Maybe that's why. I wonder why they call it a magic trowel. I guess because it's magic. Well, let's see what it does here. Yeah, significantly less. And then the Lexan knife. Even pressing pretty hard, I can't really get it to lay down much because it's just so gentle. So which one of these is the best for knockdown? Well, honestly, it kind of depends on you, your style. A lot of guys still like steel knives. I used to use these steel knives that were about 3 feet wide when we did new construction. And once I discovered these plastic knives, I honestly fell in love with them. They're just so much easier to use, more forgiving. You get a more consistent knockdown. The magic trowel, I'd say it works pretty good if you give it the right amount of time. Okay, a little update here. After this video was shot, I got to use the magic trowel doing a skim coating of a popcorn ceiling. And I found that on thicker mud, it actually is much more draggy, so it leaves a smearier, draggy kind of finish to the mud versus a steel knife, which leaves a nice smooth finish. Now on a knockdown texture like this, I think it'll still work fine for you guys, so don't hesitate there, but know its limitations. And I'm going to leave a link to what I think is a better version of this knife in the description below. And the steel knife, if you're careful, have a light touch, it'll work really good. So if you haven't been doing this much, or you're a handyman, or you do a lot of repairs like me, I would honestly go to this Lexan knife. You're gonna love it. It really is forgiving. So I hope that helped you out making some decisions. Let me know what you guys use. I appreciate your comments, and be sure and put that hashtag of #thatkiltedguy or do it right. And if this video helped you out, consider supporting us on Patreon. We really appreciate it. That's what helps us put out more of these videos. The link is in the description down below. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot, everybody. Please don't tell anybody that you saw me dancing like that. Oh my gosh.